Welcome, everybody. I love that acoustical version of the song. I don't feel like it applies just to girls. I think anybody, this song, I just love the message that, basically, as long as you feel good about yourself, you're doing what you want to do. It's so right. My name is Karen. I'm going to be your facilitator for tonight. I am coming from sunny California. I'm right outside San Francisco, and it was a hot one. It's been about 80 something degrees. And it was a beautiful day. I'm a fitness instructor, and we had someone who was leaving our classes to move. And so we actually had a barbecue outside, and we did burgers and chicken, and it was just amazing. So I hope your day is going as well as mine. In the chat, you're going to see Maya. She is maybe popping on to give you a wave on camera so you can see that she's there. She's going to be, there she is. There she is. And she's going to be supporting you, and she's amazing at tech support. It's much better than I am. So a couple of housekeeping things is if you are on your phone, sometimes your chat will default after you change it to everyone. So you may have to watch that. And sometimes the sound is a little bit icky. I recommend if you log out and log back in, a lot of times that's going to fix it. I am so glad to see you. Oh, so it's warmer in Northern California than Southern California. Interesting, Michelle. So we are here to set up our monthly journal, and I am so excited about delight. It's such a wonderful theme to dig into, and such a fun theme. Is there anybody who, oh, I see April, it's her first month. How many do we have that it is your very first month? Put a 1 in the chat if this is your first, so I can kind of get an idea. We got Jen. Oh, okay. We got quite a few. Welcome to the Sonder fam. And if you are tuning in this weekend, you're going to be seeing a lot of Maya and myself. We are the ones who are going to be facilitating most of the weekend. So the little housekeeping, make sure your chat is set to everyone. This is a cameras off event, so you don't have to worry about, you can get into your PJs, get comfortable. We can't see you. We can't hear you. It's all good. And we're just going to go ahead and dig in, but make sure that chat is set to everyone unless it's something you just want Maya and myself to see, because then that's the way we communicate and share ideas. Our community guidelines: to be kind and courteous to yourself and to others. No promotions or spam. Respect everyone's privacy. This is like Vegas. What happens here stays here, even if you know someone outside of Sonder Club. No hate speech or bullying. Limit repetitive product and accessory questions like your favorite pins, etc. Any kind of customer care inquiries will be at hello@siliconsonders.com, like if there's a delay or any other customer care issues you might have. Sonder Socials are a tool to help elevate your emotional health through the power of community. That's you guys, but you are responsible for your own emotions, well-being, and decisions. This one is not an emotional one for the most part. Some of them can be. And if you ever are feeling uncomfortable, feel free to just hang out and color in your coloring page or listen to the music. If this is your first time, the chat sometimes can go pretty fast. We have over 100 people here. So I recommend, if this is your very first one, maybe not if you're a perfectionist trying to fill out the journal with us, but listen, take notes, take screenshots of things that you like with your phone or your computer, and then go back and fill it out. Because sometimes if you're trying to listen to me and watch the chat, it can be a lot. And as Maya says, sticky notes are totally your friend. If you are a perfectionist, write it on there and then transfer it over later. And you're going to see some gorgeous journals today. And mine are not those. So you'll see mine too. So there are 2 types of people in the world. Some that make their journal look like a scrapbook. And if that makes you excited and happy and want to use it, you go for it. I'm not one of those people. I use mine as a productivity and mental health tool. So a scribble is good enough for me, but I leave that for you. So I already mentioned our theme this month is delight, and we're going to be diving into our 5 senses. And if you are not familiar with the journal or you haven't gotten yours yet, Meha, our founder, always puts a beautiful letter at the beginning. I encourage you to read it. And, she's talking about the things that delight her, and they really do. The smell of the flowers, or the chocolate covered strawberries that she's tasting, or the sound of a baby laughing. all of those things we want to pay attention to and find delight in the small things every day this month. Yeah, Rev, afternoon delight. Our agenda. We're going to have an opening activity. That is an activity that can be done on one of the notes pages in your journal, or can be done in a repurposed area of a part of your journal that you don't use, like, or maybe even the scratch page that's in your weekly spread. We're going to reflect on April. We're going to set our intentions for May. We're going to look at our mood tracker and habit tracker and how to set those up. And if you don't like the way they're set up, I'm going to give you some other ways to be able to utilize them that might fit your needs a little bit better. So you're going to flip to a blank page in your page or a repurposing area that you're going to want to. And I want you to think of a future goal that will delight you when you achieve it. Envision yourself approaching this goal and write how it feels. What steps can you take to get there? Look back at this when we set our May intentions. So I am going to share mine, and then I'm going to go off camera and give you time to be able to work on it while I play some awesome instrumental music. So for me, I want to start my own wellness business that includes Pilates. I'm currently a Pilates instructor, health coaching. I'm currently in school. My first test is tomorrow. And journaling, obviously, because I love journaling because it's in Sonders. It would feel like freedom not to be tied to a studio. Finishing health coaching school and passing the national exam for Pilates will help me lay the foundation. Thank you so much for that good luck stuff. Okay, so that's my delightful goal. The reason I want to do it is my husband travels a lot for work, and I really hate that I don't get to travel with him as much as I want. We lived in New Zealand for a while, and I want to be able to buy property and spend more time there as well. So that is something that would fulfill my life and make me feel super delighted. I'm going to put the journal prompt back up. I'm going to go off camera and play a song. And when I do, I will have online clients. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, this has been so much fun to read about your delightful goals from Chihuahua sanctuaries for senior dogs. I've always adopted Chi rescues, love it. To an app for women to fly to new houses, to vacations, to exploring the area you live, or creating that beautiful craft room that you want to be able to do, or getting back into dating. I love all of this. Or a blog about books and coffee. Who doesn't want to read that? That sounds amazing. Sabrina, I hear you on that. Back pain is absolutely the worst. Pilates, it does help. It is the #1 exercise recommended for back pain. Just throwing that out there. So we're digging into our next section. This is our main event, friends. It is the monthly planner. April reflections. We are going to be looking at our page 8. So we are on page 8 in our journal. If you are like me and you don't remember what happened this past month, and you don't necessarily use your Silk and Sonder journal for your appointments, or this is your first month, I definitely recommend looking at your photos in your phone. Sometimes you forget, even if it's like a screenshot of something of what it was you're doing or explaining, or if you're like me, I have a lot of pictures of food. So that's definitely. Kayla, your journal starts on page 13. That doesn't sound good. Okay. Uh-oh. Definitely follow email hello@Silk&Saunders. Gosh, I had not heard that people had that issue. We'll get you all taken care of. Feel free to take notes or repurpose a notes page for any of these things. So with our reflections, we have our wins, our challenges, our favorite moments, and what do I want to start, stop, and continue. This is what the page looks like. If you are one of those people who do not have the right pages, you can write this out, and I'll go back to this after I go through some examples. April wins, challenges, moments, start, stop, continue. Here's some examples of some gorgeous pages. These are not mine. Mine do not look like this, but I love that theirs do. And so you can make this as beautiful and creative with colored pens and make it absolutely gorgeous. The one is known as on the left, the one and only Nona, our super user. Nobody else's ever looks like this. Her writing is just gorgeous. And over here, I love how she used the different colors. It's so bright and cheerful. And if that appeals to you, do it. And then over here on the right, look how gorgeous that writing is. And she made her font. Like, I bet you this person did not fill out her start, stop, and continue during a social. I bet she wrote it down on a sticky note and transferred it over when she had some time. And if that resonates with you, like I said, do it. I know Nona's handwriting is amazing. This is mine. Mine does not look like that. Mine, I usually pick one color pen for the month and I use it all month. And all of it is just like, sometimes if I just have a pen, I just grab whatever it is and I write it down. So here's mine. The wins can be big, but they can also be really small. So for me, I'm a Pilates instructor, and my boss added 2 new jump board classes. And that's really exciting to me because I'm the only one who teaches jump board. So there was such a big waiting list that they wanted to work with me, and that makes me really happy. It's taken me since July, not this year, but the year before, to build that up. I taught my first bar class Saturday morning. It was so much fun. I laughed through the whole thing. I definitely want to certify bar and teach some more bar. I also did, my habits I've been working on is meal prep. I did really good with meal prep, my journal, and listening to my body. And that meant that even though sometimes I set goals of like, I'm going to do 5 Pilates classes for myself, if my body didn't feel like it could handle it, I went ahead and skipped one and let myself hang out at 4 and go for a walk instead. So see, those are small things. And then I hosted my first book club. I've been in this house almost 2 years. It's my first time having more than a couple over. So that was exciting. April challenges. I overcommitted to subbing some classes because I really am a people pleaser and like to help. Got to put my red velvet robe up and say, no, I can't cover everything. And let's just face it, my boss can sometimes be a pain. I'm sure you don't identify with that at all. My favorite moments is I went with a friend to a cheese tasting. I did a spa day on Easter by myself. I did a one-night camping trip, and I have a new client who I absolutely adore, who is a cancer survivor, who has had a liver transplant and a mastectomy and a drop foot and neurological issues. And I tell you, she is such a fighter and has such an amazing spirit that I just adore working with her. So I want to start doing a meal prep class. So for me, I am struggling with dinners because I have so much going on with health coaching school. That's an extra 14 to 15 hours a week. So I want to take a class that shows me how to batch prepare things. I want to be on social media no more than 2 times a day, in the morning and the evening, quit logging in at stoplights and things like that. And I've been doing pretty good about not snoozing. Those of you who've been with me for a while, I have had an issue with that in the past. You may too. I've been putting my phone in the kitchen, and so I have to get up and turn it off, and that's been helping a lot with the snooze factor. So I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to give you guys some time. I'll leave this page up just in case you need to be able to write it down if your journal is missing some pages. And after I leave this up for about a minute, I'll scroll through those examples again. All right, we'll be back in a few. I love reading the chat. Oh, it's so good. There are good things and bad things that happen in life, and it's up to us how we see those and how we move forward. I've had some tough times in my life. And I'm gonna say Silk and Saunders has really helped me see through it and reframe some things and know that a couple of bad days doesn't mean a bad life. Michelle mentioned something in the chat and that I thought was worth repeating. And it's something I almost always say for every setup. Is she says she doesn't fill out every single page. She uses what works for her. And I 100% agree in it. I've never finished an entire journal, and this has still changed my life. I was a negative person before I started Silk and Saunders. I was really struggling with depression and anxiety, and I really I don't know how I kept any friends, honestly, because I was such a downer. And this journal has really changed things for me. And of course, the journal prompts help, but it's the community, the support, taking the time to explore your feelings, identifying feelings in general, all of those things, super, super helpful. And then also I wanted to mention Maya in the chat posted that, you may, if you are brand new, feel free to revisit. There are multiple monthlies and multiple weekly sessions every, at the beginning of the month and weekly. I think we have 4 or 5 weekly setups. And not only may it take a little bit for you to catch on to what works for you, but you might find the facilitator that you really jive with. Not everyone is going to love me. I'm very high energy kind of person. And I find that sometimes if you are a yoga kind of personality, very low, that I may not be your best fit. Jen K is very even tempered. She speaks very slowly, where I'm up and down, and maybe that's what you relate with. So maybe it's not just the content, but you find your person, your facilitator that you really identify with and adore. So I'm just throwing that out there. Oh, Carolyn, thank you. Maya and I really love working together, and I think that shows. So we're going to be moving on to our intentions. It's page 9. So I'm going to throw this out here right now. Maybe you're retired, or maybe you are a stay-at-home mom, and professional goals doesn't work for you. You can change it. You can change whatever doesn't work for you in this journal. You can put a big old black line across it and write something else across it, or you can put a little piece of washi tape or a sticker over it, or you can put a big quote in that section or some stickers that you just love. There is no right or wrong way to be able to do this. So yes, change from professional goals to volunteer goals. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom who homeschools. So maybe it's homeschool goals. Make it fit you in your life. Just because they give us these categories don't mean they apply to you. Spiritual health, personal life, physical health, key relationships, money management, and professional goals. And since my husband got all the Amazon boxes unboxed today, I'm going to say that I didn't meet my April financial goals of cutting down my Amazon packages. Oopsie. So what are some tips and tricks that you can use to be able to make this really work for you? You can use the theme of delight to set your intentions. Now, I don't always love this depending on the theme. Sometimes it doesn't work for me, but delight is such a fun one that maybe your intentions of like, my spiritual health, what do I want to delight in spiritual? For me, I want to go out and walk in nature. So maybe that's the way I look at my intentions. Maybe you focus on one area such as self-love or self-talk. I have an example of this one I'm excited to show. Use a name of a song or a tune that inspires you. How do you want to feel this month? Use stickers, colors, or images. I have some examples of those too. And one thing you want to let go of, one thing you want to start doing. So this is what the page looks like. We are on page 9. I'm going to show mine, walk through a couple of examples, and then I'll scroll through those examples while you're working if you want to look at those too. And yeah, Maya's right. Like if it's overwhelming to look at all these areas, pick 1 or 2, the ones that you're struggling the most with. Or maybe if you were with us in March and we did the Wheel of Life, maybe that's what you were, I think it was March. Was it April? March, April. If you did the Wheel of Life, maybe you want to think about one of the areas that's low there. Just a thought. Okay, it was April. It was April. I thought I did it right when I came back from Brazil. Okay, so here's mine. Once again, not pretty. Spiritual health, be in nature. I already mentioned that. I did an online class this last week, and it's about being a queen. I even bought myself, I don't know if you can see it, it's a little queen ring off of Amazon to give myself the reminder to be queenly. So I found a book called The Audacity to Be Queen. So I'm going to explore my spirituality through that. Physical health, Pilates 4 times a week. And I'm going to try to run 2 times a week on the weekends, even if it's just a mile, just to get myself going after my back. After my pinched nerve has healed, I want to get going on there. Oh, good, Michelle. Yeah, mine is not gorgeous. I'm not going to lie. Money management, work on the meal prep dinners. Remember, I said that that was something that I wanted to start. So you're seeing the crossover. It's not like I'm trying to set myself up for success with all these crazy goals and intentions. It's coming from one page right over to the other. Personal life, I want to support a friend at an art show. The book was called The Audacity to Be Queen. I found it on Amazon. I'm really liking it. I will say it is very heavy on the spirituality. If you don't like God talk, it may not be for you. I just kind of change it as the universe in my head. Key relationships. Keep out of people's bad moods. So that was there. And then professional goals. I want to start working on a health coach business plan. And I want to be studying my anatomy to take my national Pilates certification because I need to get it done before July. Otherwise, I need to get a ton of continuing education credits. So I'd rather just take the one test, have it all there, and have time to work on it in one place. So here's some of mine in the past. You can see, depending on what kind of mood I'm in what works for me, I change it up. So over here on the left, I use really pretty visuals. And then I didn't love it. So the next month, you can see that's May, June, I got very specific and I wrote it out. After doing that for a few months in September, I had a little time I wanted to get a little creative. So I used words and quotes. And then in October, I didn't have much time. So once again, I just made 1 or 2 little quick things that I wrote there. I try to pick a pen that matches the cover, and that's what I use for a month. That's kind of how I do it. Here's some other examples. This one over on the left-hand side, she used song lyrics. I told you there was one. It's so cute. Killing me softly. I want to believe again. Bad wolves. Love that. Here's someone else who used just words. And don't worry, I will go through these again. Here's an example of the more and less. I want to do more of this, less of this. September intentions. This is not mine. This is Bailey's, one of our other facilitators. So it's super cute. She used all kitty pictures. She's been known to use all Disney. I've done collages. That's mine on the right. Here's someone who used just stickers to communicate what it was that they wanted to do. And then here's someone who just wrote it out in words. All of these are completely and totally okay. I will finish. I liked the way they framed that. Here's some ones that really added some illustrations and another one that's a little more and less. So I'm going to put on some music and I'm going to scroll through these examples so you can check them out and work on your pages. Okay. So we are moving into the next section, which is our mood and habit tracker. My fan just closed my journal, so we are on page 10 and 11. So, mood tracker. Why? Why would you use it? Understand trends on how we're feeling. Notice and begin to make shifts. So let's say that you don't always eat breakfast, but on the days you eat breakfast, you notice your mood's better that day. Then because you notice that connection, you can eat breakfast in the mornings. Or maybe on the days that you meditated or whatever self-care it is that you're doing, helping find those connections definitely can help. It can bring in tools that work when a positive mood shows up for us. So we identify it and then we can use it. So some tips and tricks on this for setting up. One emotion from each section in the feelings chart. That's one way to do it. A few different areas from the feelings chart, and I'll show you that feelings chart in a minute. Dive deep into multiple emotions from each section, or focus on delight for the month. You can fill in every emotion that came up for the day or whatever is the strongest emotion. Abby, you're going to see mine in a minute. And mine's not, I have used mine for pain, but it's not what I'm using it right now for. I'm going to put this back up there when you have a chance to work, but basically you work from the inside out. So you could pick different emotions, or you could pick one or two of the big, like joy, love, and then several in that area. Ways to repurpose in daily affirmation tracker from maybe our app. Your anxiety levels. Bailey likes to use, one of our facilitators, Bailey likes to use that one. Depression levels, scale of 1 to 6 of feeling a certain way, angry, tired, etc. This is what ours looks like this month. Sometimes it is a little bit of a different shape. I've seen someone say that they've noticed if it's 30 or 31 days, it depends on which habit tracker they use. I haven't paid that close enough attention, but maybe you have. So here's the way some people have set theirs up. They've using a little highlighter, maybe some really pretty stickers, and using multiple on there. And then I love a good theme, Harry Potter theme, love that one. Here's some other examples. Some people use it as an activity or a fitness tracker. I'm assuming that that is how many hours they worked out or how many minutes they worked out. Love when someone creates a beautiful mandala. And then here's someone who is looking at dizziness levels. And I like how they said purpose fuels passion. And so that's how they looked at it. So it was not feelings, but social media posts and inviting people. So they use it as kind of a business tracker. Other examples over here on the left-hand line is a relaxation tracker. I rated 1 to 6. I've done that before. Here's someone who has marked their Peloton exercise routine. Beautiful little doodles to fill in if that appeals to you. Someone writing out all of the different emotions under joy so they can look at it. Oh, Leanne, thanks for sharing that. It's a good one. So, you know, they can always have that feeling chart right there with them. Here is someone else that is looking, and they're kind of splitting it in half so that they can look in the morning and in the evening. And then they're also boxing what are the weekend days to kind of like, oh yeah, I was in a really good mood, of course, because I wasn't working that day or whatever. Love the faces. Here is someone who used stickers. Their picture wasn't really great as far as me being able to cut it, but I could tell that the stickers are the good emotions and the colored in were not so good emotions. So I like that. Here's someone else. The dream plan, wellness warriors, great content training. Oh, I bet that's one's yours too, Lynn. Is that one on the left yours? Here's someone who really is into moon cycles and such, and it's just a really fun way. And then here's another mandala that someone else created. Now that mandala would not work for me. It would cause me all kinds of stress to color it in every day. But if it's like a meditation for you, do it. Here's mine. I suffer from acid reflux. It triggers my asthma. So I rank mine on 1 to 6. And usually I don't fill in the circles until I actually am like, if I'm a level 2 that day on 1 to 6, I'll mark something in and then mark it. So I don't even fill in my circles ahead of time. And that also kind of helps me be like, oh, wow, it's either been really good or really bad. What have I been changing or not changing? So I'm going to put some more music on and let you set up your mood tracker. If you are repurposing, let us know. If you are using certain emotions, let us know. and I'll put that feelings wheel back up. All right. Just a reminder, the monthly, unless I'm wrong, they changed it this month and I didn't notice that these are an hour 15 minutes. It's the only social we have that is a touch longer. The last section we're going to dive into is our habit tracker. But if you need to leave, take care of yourself. Our habit tracker. So you can start new habits. You can stop doing habits that don't serve you. And you can continue habits that bring value. So you can start, stop, or continue. Oh, that sounds like familiar language, doesn't it? From when we filled out our reflections. So we might want to keep those in mind while we look into our habits. So tips and tricks. Once again, you can use that scope of delight as your focus, or you can pick a theme. Maybe I saw a lot of people are really struggling with anxiety last month. I'm very familiar with that. So maybe think about a word that you want to really focus on that's like the opposite for you of that anxiety, like grounded or delight or joy. Now, there's nothing wrong with continuing a habit from the month before. It takes more than one, for a hard habit, it takes more than 1 or 2 months. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 months to be able to nail that habit down. You can find balance, habits that you can do, like brushing your teeth or taking your medications or vitamins if you're already doing them. And some ones that are going to be trickier, like maybe you're new to meditation and you're trying to add that in a few times a week. And remember, you do not have to ever fill in every line. I never do. Well, sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. If I'm trying to start new habits, I can't. I'm just not going to be successful. I'm going to set myself up for failure. And who wants that? Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what Sonia. Oh, okay. I'm talking about Jen. No, I'm not sure. Okay. So here's some different ones that people have set up. The one in the middle is that gorgeous mandala. Over here on the left-hand side, they have some ones that are probably give me's versus ones that are a little harder. Like my guess is waking up before 7:30 might be a little bit harder, but taking her birth control may be something that she does regularly. That's an easier habit to kind of keep up with. So she's kind of put some harder and easier ones in there. Over here on the right-hand side, they're marking out the weekends. And I like to do that sometimes too, and not necessarily do my habits on the weekend, especially if I'm traveling, camping, or doing things like that. So that's a way to kind of give yourself a little bit of room if you need to. Yeah, Cheryl, log those steps. Why not? Like, use this journal to be able to fit your needs. Here's one of my old ones on the left-hand side, the daily ritual, my morning ritual, and 365 days of art. I must say the 365 days of art has still not become a habit. I've abandoned it for the time being. And sometimes you have to think, is this a habit that I'm doing because I think I want to, or am I actually enjoying it? So I've set it aside for now, but it doesn't mean I won't pick it back up later. And then I love this one. Number one, I love that she has marked out the days of the week along the edges. And then I also, when she was sick, she didn't beat herself up. She just wrote sick in there and moved on. Steph, you don't have to do the daily rituals with sitting down with a piece of paper. Sometimes I listen to them in the shower or in my commute. Is it as good as journaling? No, but is it better than not doing them at all? Absolutely. So cut yourself some slack. Make it work for you. This one on the left-hand side, I love that she just threw all kinds of affirmations that lifted her up all over the page. Here's a gorgeous mandala that someone's colored in, and it looks like they have done pretty darn well that month. And then over here on the right-hand side is that intention page. I think they've colored around the edges, and then underneath is where they're going to color. So now that they have 4 habits that are tracking, not the whole long laundry list. And here's mine. The walking is kind of a give me. I've been doing it for a few months now with Snickers, and it's been going pretty well, especially when the weather's being nice. Northern California, we had tons of rain, and Chihuahuas do not like to walk in the rain. They are not water dogs. Journal. You would think doing Silk and Saunders as long as I have and being a facilitator that I would journal every single day and it would become automatic. It's not. I still struggle with it. Some days I forget, I get busy, or something unexpected happens, and I may fill out 2 or 3 days at a time, but logging it daily helps me remember. And then we had the theme of abundance a while back. There is a book called Simple Abundance. It's kind of like 2 or 3 pages of a little pick me up every beginning of the day. I had it on Kindle for a long time, struggled with it. I bought a hardback copy. I keep it in the kitchen where I drink my coffee. I'm not perfect at it yet, but it's getting more reads of more days than it was before. If you are struggling with some habit ideas, here are some. You could garden. It's that time of year. Post in Sonder Club. We love seeing your post and cheering you on or cheering you up. Jumping in a puddle. I saw someone had some rainy weather. Using your stickers. Maybe you're a sticker hoarder. I sometimes am. Dance. I saw someone loves dancing to their EDM music. Love it. Buy flowers. I do that once a week from Trader Joe's. Love it. It's made a huge difference in my life for $5. I just skip the Starbucks. Read, drink your water, feed the birds. That one Maya's all about. She has some new bird feeders and is loving it. And I love the video you posted on Facebook with the little squirrel with the Mission Impossible music of him trying to break into the squirrel feeder. Nature walks, delight, have a picnic, focus breathing, laughing, daily affirmations, creating a playlist that is delightful to lift you up, declutter, craft time, watch a romantic movie. So I'm going to go off camera and give you a few minutes to set up your habits. If you're repurposing, let us know how you are and what habits are you tracking. Oh my goodness, our time together is almost up. I hope you are feeling delighted. I hope you are feeling ready for the month. I hope all you newbies are feeling confident about your journal and know that I'm not perfect. I don't fill it out every day. I don't fill out every page. And there are months that I am more successful at it than others, but I still love it. And it should never be a sense of guilt ever. If it makes you feel bad, it is not like never make you feel bad. This is something you should enjoy doing to make you better at what it is you're already good at and to improve some things that you're just wanting to work on, but never guilt. So, and Lila, I love that you are creating an acts of service, and I guarantee you your month is going to be amazing when you focus on those random acts of kindness and those compliments and everything else. Of course, we want you to share your planner. That's where we get these examples from. Now you can share in the page, but I don't know if you know that there's actually, if you scroll down a little bit in the app, there are sections where you can upload specific pages. And that's actually where I got some of the examples of the monthly pages. Is I didn't go through Sonder Club, I went and looked at those examples. So you can upload those pictures there as well. Either one is fine. We just want to see what it is you're up to, if it's something you're really proud of, or maybe you're keeping it really simple like I do, and maybe that will inspire somebody else that it doesn't have to look a certain way to be successful. One thing every day, April's asking, the one area where I don't have any idea how to use it. Some people use it for an affirmation. Some people use it for an important thing that they want to remember or forget. Some people will write something of a positive of the day, or some people even use it for their rosebud thorn. Yeah, April, use it for the best moment that happened that day. Absolutely. And Michelle, I'm with you. Mine stays blank most of the time. Sometimes I'll put in, if I really like the national holidays, like National Pizza Day, I'll fill those in. You know, sometimes I change it up. Our time is coming to a close. If you need to see us again this weekend, we got an early morning one tomorrow, and then we have an afternoon one. And then Sunday morning, we have an early weekly set up. And then Malika and I will be in the mid-afternoon. So Maya, definitely, she is tomorrow morning's a monthly and later in the afternoon is weekly, if I'm correct. Either way, you can check it out on the app. So refer a friend if you love Silk and Saunders. Share, they get $10, you get $10. It is awesome. And then also share your feedback, especially times for the types of socials that work for you. We have added so many socials based on those survey results. And if you just have a hankering that you want to see something like that, let us know. I'm so glad you spent the afternoon or early evening, depending on where you are, with me, and I hope to see you very soon. And I hope to see you this weekend. Yeah, let's hang out. Let's get all ready for the month so we can make it delightful.
Half full, half empty, get my cup of coffee. Monday morning, wanna go back to sleep, but I don't have that luxury. It's just myself and me. I tried to find the sun up in the clouds. When I looked up into the sky, rain poured down. I found that every day is repeating itself. Feels like I'm dreaming, half full, half empty. What do you